Hi there, it's Alan here from Loud and Clear Glasgow, and I'm delighted to be joined by Anji, Managing Director of Fyne Audio. We are here visiting Fyne Audio's fabulous new manufacturing facility in Bellshill, and we're currently seated in the lovely den room behind or in front of these rather fine looking vintage 15 loudspeakers. Purpose of today is really to get a little bit of insight from Anji on background to Fyne, who they are, where they've been, a little bit of information on the new factory, and also discuss where they're going as a business. So without any further ado, Anji, welcome.
Thank you very much. Good to have the opportunity to speak to you, Alan.
Great stuff.
Thanks for being here.
Great stuff. So to set the scene, can you give me a little bit of history and a little bit of background of Fyne? Who are you and where have you come from?
Well, we're in our 9th year now, so we don't feel young anymore as a business.
Okay.
We're still relatively, in terms of loudspeaker companies, we're still obviously young.
Yeah.
But we do feel that we've come a long way now in terms of what we did. When we started, it was a kind of an opportunity. Mm-hmm. It came out of adversity, you could say. It was a kind of a lemons to lemonade situation, though, because the opportunity became a really good one for us. Because we all came, as everyone knows, from the Tannoy brand, and but we all had a lot of experience, obviously.
Absolutely.
And I was a youngster with the Tannoy. I only had 16 years with Tannoy. The rest of the guys like Paul and Stuart and Gail, they had 30 odd years in the business. So we had a lot of experience in the audio world. And so when it came to have the opportunity, then we had a lot of basically skill sets and ability, a lot of know-how. And we wanted to keep the know-how here. We wanted to keep the know-how here in Scotland.
That expertise, absolutely.
Keep the expertise here. And, when I finish my journey here, I want the business to have some sort of sustainability and legacy here in Scotland.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the main driving factor there. And of course, we all saw that, we had an opportunity, and a lot of the customers were coming to us at the time saying they were worried too, and they thought there was an opportunity as well. So that was how we started. That's why we started.
So a little bit of adversity, a little bit of identification of your kind of market opportunity as well.
Yes.
As well. And I guess a chance to sort of revisit some of the technologies and take them on to their kind of natural conclusions as well.
Exactly. Because what we had at the time was like a blank sheet of paper.
Yeah.
We didn't have any of the constraints of anything previous. We had a lot of knowledge and ability. Yeah. And we thought, well, we wanted to bring something new at the time as well. If we're going to start a new loudspeaker business, and nobody was looking for a new loudspeaker brand at that point, right? So if we're going to do that, let's bring something new to the market. Let's add value to the industry, if you like, at that time. So we spent a lot of time in the first year. What we were mainly doing was looking for investment, and then designing product, because that's the only thing that we could do at that time. So we did a lot of work on ideas, brainstorming what we would do with it, how could we improve the technology, what could we add, and this is where a lot of the early ideas came, of Dr. Paul and his bass track system, and using the presence controls and the HF, and doing it infinite with adjustments rather than little screws that you screw in certain settings. So it's just ways of moving the industry on. So that was what we set out to do.
So the background, you obviously came through what was really tough for you. The whole industry closed down for COVID.
Yeah.
What did you do during that time? Was that another opportunity to revisit some of the technology?
No, actually, COVID. Everyone panicked when COVID started. The whole world panicked.
Of course, yeah.
But 3 months into that, as it turned out, we had a lot of stock in our system at that time, and we weren't able to come and manufacture stuff, but we had a lot of stock already, and so it began to realize people were then buying things for their home. So actually, over a period of time, it turned out to be quite a good thing.
Quite a positive thing, yeah. I mean, we've certainly benefited from it as well. Yeah. People spending more time in their house, listening to more music, watching more films.
Exactly.
And that's very much manifested itself.
At the time, it was great, and we had a fantastic period for a year or two. But I think in the last couple of years, I think the whole industry has been suffering a bit from that, because I think we pulled forward a lot of business that we might have had later on, and especially at the lower end, the more entry level, so our entry level part of the marketplace. So, but the COVID years, I mean, Actually, you think about starting a new business when we did, the headwinds that we've had to go through.
Absolutely.
In terms of Brexit,
Yeah.
COVID, and as soon as we got out of COVID, all the rest of the issues we all know about.
Completely.
It's just like never.
It's been a interesting few years.
It's time to start any new business.
Interesting few years. But obviously it's been a very successful last 7 or 8 years for you. You're now in this fabulous new factory.
Yeah.
So how did that come about?
Well,
I think you mentioned you've bought this, so that's a big investment.
It's a commitment from our business, big investment, but it's also investing us here in Scotland, because we're trying to build the business here. We're trying to buy locally whenever we can of all the components we need, whether it's packaging or metalwork or whatever it can be. Some things you can't buy here locally; you have to go external for that. But where we can, we will. And
that's been an overriding philosophy from the business from the beginning, hasn't it? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, the entry-level ranges, we just launched a couple of really good entry-level ranges for the E500E and S ranges, but at that sort of price point, you can't really make them here in Scotland, not to the quality level and the performance with all the technologies we've got built into our products. So they have to be made, and we're having them made out in Indonesia, which is a move for us, because it was China before, now it's Indonesia. But all the rest of our ranges are made here.
So that's from sort of SP all the way up through F1, Vintage, Classic.
Yeah, all of those. Everything above so SP, 700 series, 700 SP, all of the ones right up to F1.
Okay. I mean, one of the things that I've noticed, you've been kind enough to show us around the factory today, there has been a real investment in the factory. The presentation is excellent, and there's obviously been quite a lot of thought put into going forward and developing and growing as a business as well. Obviously you have invested. One of the things we were chatting about was the whole kind of solar power thing. So I believe you've just recently showered your roof in solar panels.
We have. There's no roof space left apart from solar panels. I've got 200 panels up there, which is a lot, and it's more than we need for this business. But we felt like we should put the maximum number of panels up there partly because the whole world's moving, and it's only moving one way. Electricity is the future, and it's never going to get any cheaper. So from a overall business point of view, it made sense. It's a big investment, but then, we're not here for the short term. We've always been a business that's looking long term. Never expect to be an overnight success, but we knew that we had a long
trajectory of growth. Yeah, absolutely.
So that's just one of the things. Let's invest in things that make sense.
Yeah.
And people might argue it's a lot of money, but at the end of the day, it's a really strong, a strong indication that we're investing in our own business. We've got customers, like yourselves actually, you invest in a brand, but you want to see the brand investing in itself.
Absolutely.
And so that gives you confidence that we're prepared to do that, and then you can invest in us. So.
And I guess also the solar panel thing as well is an element of responsibility, an element of environmental responsibility.
Yeah, and we look at that, and there's as a company like ours there's not so many things you can do. We have to use wooden cabinets. And wooden's recyclable. Well, that's a good thing about wooden cabinets. Trees grow, which is great. That kind of stuff. So we try to look, and we buy from sustainable sources and all that. So we do all that kind of thing. But when it comes to your carbon footprint, we've tried to minimize our travel and that kind of thing. But there's a limited amount of things you can do. This opportunity of putting solar panels on the roof was a big one. You can do this because it really helps. And we're generating a lot more power than we actually need, so a lot of it is given back to the grid at the moment. So.
Excellent, which is great. Okay, we've obviously had a bit more of a kind of technical deep dive on the products. As a business, are you working on any new technologies? Are you going to be a loudspeaker brand going forward? Are you working on anything else?
Fundamentally, always going to be a loudspeaker brand. And right from the beginning, we've tried to develop new technologies, new ideas, and some of it are brand new, like the SuperTrax is a brand new idea. We didn't know we were going to do that when we started. It sort of hatched itself out of a lot of discussions and just talking about what we could do next kind of idea. But whatever we do is going to be around loudspeakers for sure. And but we will always be improving things. There's it's always we sit around every 3 or 4 months talking about what can we do next, what can we improve, how can we generate, and a lot of it is about new materials or new ways of creating something something interesting. So we'll still be, but it'll all be about loudspeakers. We'll be developing new versions of loudspeakers. But what would be in terms of exciting stuff that we're not currently doing? Interestingly, quite a few of our customers tell us that our high-end speakers are not high-end enough. They're not expensive enough.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
I know that's a bit crazy, by the way, but anyway, that's all. People say that, so that's on our
It's on the radar somewhere.
On the radar somewhere. You know, is it worth doing a big flagship system? And,
Yeah.
And something else that could be interesting. So a loudspeaker, of course.
Yeah, of course.
So that's one direction we're looking at. But then we're always going to be a hi-fi brand, though. But we are. There's two other sort of tracks that are interesting. Just to touch on. One is we've got a big American investor, and they're in the pro audio world.
Okay.
Not a world we're in. Hi-fi is very different from professional audio, and they do a lot of systems for stadiums and train stations and airports.
Yeah.
And we developed a whole range of ceiling speakers for them. They use our core technology, isoflare.
Okay.
Core technology, which is great for ceiling speakers because you need a wide dispersion for ceiling speakers. You never listen. You're usually off-axis on a ceiling speaker. So anyway, we developed this whole range of ceiling speakers, and they've developed a range of on-wall speakers and doing some other speakers. And it's actually a new brand. It's Atlas plus Fyne. Atlas is the company plus Fyne. So it's a new brand.
Yeah. Okay.
It's got our name on it.
Yeah. Okay.
And so we're not going to be in that market. We're not going to be, supplying in that market. But we're connected to that market now.
And I guess there's a feedback loop as well, because you're looking at what's happening in that space, and that's going to feed back into what's happening in the domestic space as well.
Exactly. And within what that company offers and our connection with that company, it does lead us towards the custom install market in the residential space again, because a lot of the products are quite similar in the custom install market. So there's nothing happening on that now, but in terms of general sort of directions of travel, hi-fi is still going to be the most important thing for us. It's the core of what we do, and it underpins everything else. But we'll continue to develop that, and there's other new ideas there like active speakers and all that kind of stuff. We'll be looking at all of those things as well. But we've always been a company that's done things step to step, and done things in a considered way.
So more about evolution rather than revolution.
Yes, I just think that's sensible.
Common sense.
And,
absolutely.
We haven't got money to splash around and everything, so we've got to be careful about what we do.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, right. That's great. Thank you for that insight into Fyne Audio.
That's a pleasure.
Thank you for that.